Paul.
Pete.
Newcastle 1, Watford 1. That was a game we had to win.
Yep.
And we concede again. More defence. I mean, this defence is just atrocious, along with the rest of the side.
Bunch of bottle jobs, Pete, is what they are. Absolute bunch of bottle jobs. I mean, you know, how many times have we said this season, we'll go ahead, we get a goal, and we think we can go on and get 2 or 3 more. But no, we sit back, we give the game back to Watford, and we sit back and say, there's the ball, you try and break us down, when we know we're going to be broke down. It's shocking football. Absolutely shocking. We've got nothing in midfield with that donkey Longstaff. Honestly, he's shit. The defenders, Lascelles, shit. I mean, where do you go? We've got absolutely no chance unless we bring in some decent players in the window. But whoever watches that today, fuck, I don't know, Pete. I don't know where we go.
Yeah, I've kind of gone back to Longstaff, that useless twat. People said he's got a long-term future. What were people drinking or smoking at the time for them to come out and say that?
This is where you need to start questioning Eddie Howe, and I've been a supporter of Howe since he came in. But how you can leave a player like Longstaff on the pitch for 90 minutes when he's playing like that, giving the ball away on a consistent basis, you've got to start asking questions of the manager now. Has he improved us that much really since he come in? And I've been having a go at everybody that's been digging at Howe. I'm not saying fire him or anything stupid like that, but the manager has to take some responsibility for the players he puts on that pitch, who we know aren't good enough. When we've got Anderson sitting there, young kid raring to go.
We said Hendrick should have been given an opportunity, and we got laughed at.
Yeah, I said Hendrick plenty times last week on the shows, and people were laughing at me, having a dig. But listen, how can anybody do any worse than fucking Longstaff? Nobody can do any worse than him. Elliot Anderson, young kid, raring to go, trying to prove himself at a club that's been taken over, wants to solidify his place. What chance have we got? When Eddie Howe just keeps on ploughing on with Sean Longstaff, it's just shit. There's nothing more you can say. The whole team sitting back. Maxey giving the ball away numerous times. Yes, he scored. Oh, yeah. But big deal. How many chances did he have to cross that ball in the first half and didn't?
Plenty of times to do it.
Yeah, you were at the Gallagher end. You saw how many times he gave the ball away. People are getting very frustrated with him. But, it's the same substitutions time after time as well. It's Murphy, it's Almiron. They do fuck all. Nothing at all. Almiron comes on, runs around like he's just had his head chopped off, like a fucking headless chicken. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we've got Leeds next Saturday. I mean, are we going to bring any more players in before that game?
Well, hopefully, Pete. But you know as well as I do, we need about 5 or 6 players now. We have to change practically the whole 11. Nobody's done that in a transfer window before. But these guys aren't good enough. The movement is slow. There's no build-up play. You see even Watford getting the ball, lovely one-touch football, creating breaks. What do? We pass fucking backwards. We may as well be playing rugby.
Yeah, and Lascelles, our captain, could have gives the ball away to a former player, and luckily he just blasts it, because if he scored, oh my God.
Listen, we know Lascelles isn't a good player. We know he's not a captain. Trippier today shouting again, geeing the players up, and we've got a captain who's he's like a roadblock, Peter. He's so slow. I've seen, tankers in the Tyne turn quicker than him. And he cannot make a tackle. He's 5 yards late for a tackle. We are just all over the place. And to be honest, you now have to start questioning seriously if we can survive in this league. Because these games that we've had over the Christmas period, you look at Brentford, Norwich, all these type of teams that we should have got something from, we haven't won. That is relegation.
Yeah, it certainly is. Brilliant.
Cheers, Pete.
John, Newcastle 1, Watford 1. That was a game I had to win, and we've thrown it away again.
Yeah.
This is just... What can you say about that?
In typical Newcastle United style, let's be real. I mean, you're right. I mean, there's clearly a concentration problem at this football club, right? Especially at the back, yeah? I mean, we cannot hold on for wins. We cannot hold on for a lead. Every time we go goal up, we just go defensive. We just don't try for a second goal, yeah? And the thing is, right, I mean, you got players like Kieran Trippier and Joe Linton so damn frustrated. Trippier, right, he as a leader, right, he's levels above them every single time. Do you know what I mean? And it seems to me that they just haven't got the... how do I put it? They just haven't got the confidence to go and get a second goal, yeah? We have dropped, Pete, 21 points for winning positions, right? I repeat that, people. 21 points, yeah? Let's be real, yeah? That would have kept us up, right? We are Bottle Jobs FC. I have to agree with the big guy over there, yeah? Bottle Jobs FC, yeah? That's what we are now, because we just thrown it away. I mean, Watford, big up to them, right? I mean, yes, they should have scored a couple, yeah? Before they got their late goal, yeah? We just didn't heed the warning, Pete. And if you don't heed the warning, right? Then this is what happens, yeah? We deserve to go down.
Yep, absolutely. Again, the defence is just atrocious. We need new defenders. Sean Longstaff. People said he's got a future at the club. You people who came out and said that? What were they doing at the time?
I tell you what, though, I think I love Eddie Howe, yeah, but he must have a couple of pina coladas when he said that's all in the press conference. To know what I mean? Let's be real. But Sean Longstaff, for me, he was done. He was done a couple of years ago. The moment Rafa left the club, he was done. He's gone backwards, alarmingly, yeah. What does Eddie Howe see in this guy? Yeah, he's slow, he gives the ball away, you know, and I tell you what, he misses chances where the chance come to him, yeah. And people say we've got to back this guy. People say you're not going to be negative. No, yeah. Pete, we got to call these out. We got to call the players out, yeah? And I'm sorry, people have a go at us, right? Carry on, yeah? But I'll have them for breakfast, a lot of them, yeah? But Sean Longstaff, we should take 50 million from United, right? Man United, sorry, and took the money from them, yeah? But it's not this to be midfield. The defence is a concentration problem. Up front, Chris Wood, he had no service towards us the other day. Yes, he wasn't fit. Okay, he had a day's training. We can't blame him. I'm not going to cuss him for that because he did his best, right? But it's going to get better. But today, you're right, it's the game we needed to win today. We fell miserably. We only took a point today, right? And that is why we are bottom of the table on each year. Are we going to stay up? I doubt it, yeah. I think we're done. We are done out here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got Leeds next Saturday. Do you think we're going to bring any more players in before that game?
Well, we're going to have to. We're going to have to get 2 or 3 in before the Leeds game. But how are we going to get them in? I don't know. I heard we were after Robin Gosens today, and this guy is a world-class left-back for that Atlanta. If he's watching that today, I say, Robinson, stay at Atlanta, right? And fight for the Serie A title, warrior. Well, he's not going to win the Serie A, but just stay at Atlanta, mate. Because I'm telling you, if you get this guy, he will improve us tenfold, yeah? He's going to be levels above Dummett, Lewis, yeah? At the left-back berth, yeah? And Diego Carlos, are not a defender that today at Sevilla. He wants to come. He's going for a coach shock if he came, right? But I take good players from Newcastle. But after watching that today, right, they're going to be thinking, oh, I'm not going to come to Newcastle watching that shite, are we?
ASM, he scored, but you've got to call him out again. You see how many times he gives the ball away again?
It's frustrating, it is so frustrating. For the positive, he's got a cracking goal. But for the negative, right, again, oh man, he's got to learn how to pass the flipping ball. And if he doesn't do that, the players around is going to be frustrated. Eddie Howe's got to tell him and say, look, you've got to do the simple things, yeah? That is why one of these days we're going to lose the ball of him. Well, they could have scored it in the first time when they lost our football, yeah? Again and again. What can I say? I mean, it's going to cost us games. It's going to cost us points. You know what it is, right? I like him. I want him to be the best I can be. But it's so frustrating, man. So frustrating. And, oh, man, what can I say? I mean, just, he needs to be... I don't want to see him dropped. He can produce a rabbit out of a hat. But... again, Pete, he's going to have to learn the basics. If you don't learn the basics, then he's going to get found out easy, and he's being found out. All the teams know he's like, first season, brilliant, and then he sussed him out now.
Yeah, well, brilliant.
Thank you.
Lawrence, Newcastle 1, Watford 1. That was a game I had to win the day, and we've completely through it again.
Exactly. Oh, I'm just so pissed off. Like, get like an 87th minute equaliser. I think they're on a 6-game losing run, and then they ended against us. Typical.
I mean, defence is just a woeful. Midfield, Sean Longstaff. He said he's got a long-term future ahead of this club. I mean, what was Eddie Howe thinking of coming out and saying things like that?
No idea. I mean, yes, we've seen him play well against Watford earlier in the season. Man United at home, you could say. Boy needs dropped. I'd put Jeff Hendrick in over him.
Yeah, I said yes, and few of us got laughed at, but if Sean Longstaff's terrible, Willock's terrible, why not look to see what he can do?
Well, exactly. Like, yes, he was poor last season, but he's been left out. We've seen Johan Gufran, Gutierrez, like, written off, but they came back on the side and did a lot better. So maybe Hendrick can do that if he came back in the side. He's already scored against Wolves, which is more than what Willock and Almiron have done.
Yep, absolutely. We've got Leeds. Do you think we'll bring some more players before that game? We've got to.
I've got a feeling we will bring in one player. Maybe we'll hopefully probably do more players after the Leeds game when we've got a big gap between games.
We need them as soon as possible before this game.
Well, yeah, and it is like Leeds. They're not the same side this season. We can beat them, but yeah. Apparently, it's supposed to be doing the trip to Saudi Arabia in this break we've got. Maybe we'll have a signing announced while we're there.
Yeah. Do you think Eddie Howe's going to be in for a little bit of criticism in terms of his substitutions and team selection? I think he does.
Well, the players let him down, but he's now got to drop Sean Longstaff. He's hopefully subs. Well, I'm not really going to complain too much at the subs, but
the same subs: Murphy, Miggy, nothing.
Well, yeah, they didn't do much. I mean, Almiron didn't have a lot of time.
I think he needs gone now as well.
Well, I'd probably put him in over Sean Longstaff, but you know what? He wouldn't be amiss if he went in the January window.
Yep. Well then, great. Thank you. Adam, Newcastle 1, Watford 1. That was a game I had to win, and we've completely thrown it away again.
Yeah, I mean, it was just shite. Well, I didn't begin with that one. It's the same story. It's week after week, we score and then we sit back. There's so many times this season now where we're in a winning position and we don't try and kill the game off. Every single time it's bit in the arse. We won one match this season, we won it 1-0. We can't score a second goal, and that's why we are 19th in the table. I don't know, or 20th.
We might have climbed up early because they didn't play the game. We'd level on points with them.
Oh, man.
But that's still not good enough.
It's just shambolic. It's the same players every time. You can be blindfolded in the game. You know which players are playing bad. Longstaff was shocking today. I'm sorry, yes, he's young, but he's had so many opportunities now. 2.5 years he's had since Benitez left, and he still hasn't improved. We can't keep having him in the squad because he's costing with games now. Lascelles again. How did Sissoko not score that chance? Lascelles has missed a pass, and then he's missed a tackle, and Sissoko's just had a sitter. It's shocking. We should have lost. I mean, I think a draw was fair, actually. I don't think we should have lost. I think if a draw was fair, but it was just terrible by Newcastle. Terrible.
I mean, do you think we'll get any more players in before the Leeds game? We've got to.
100%. The new owners will be looking at that and be like, how the hell are we not winning that game? They'll be looking all over the place. I mean, the police car there, they should be arresting some of those players in the pitch. They were shocking again. The defenders, midfielders, we need some new ones in ASAP. The midfield especially, we can't control games, we don't hold possession. And the defence is just panics all the time. I've had enough of them. I've really had enough of them, Peter.
Yeah, I think we've all had enough of majority of this squad now. If we ought to bring someone in, who would you like to see come in?
Well, the centre-half wise, one of Botman, Carlos or Sule. I've heard loads about them ones. Definitely take at least one of those in if we can. We need a centre midfielder, so I don't know who. There's so many different options out there, but it has to be one that's better than what we got, which is not hard at the minute, to be fair.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Thank you very much. Archer, Newcastle United 1, Watford 1. That was the game we had to win, and we've absolutely threw it away again.
Aye, we've literally threw it away. Like, should have won the game, but we just literally basically sat back. Like, when St Maximin scored, right, like literally that was it. But then Watford just equalised. It was that game. We needed to win that game. Like, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, some of these players are just rotten at the back. Lascelles could give it away to Sissoko. He could have put that in. Given it away to your former ex-player. Sean Longstaff. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Longstaff. Like, what does Eddie Howe say in Longstaff? That the 52,000 Geordies don't see in him. Like, where's Hayden? Where's Hayden?
Aiden's out injured, unfortunately. 2 months.
Oh, 2 months. Well, if it.
Willick's not doing well. I said Jeff Hendrick, and majority of us got laughed at. Could have given an opportunity if Willick and Longstaff are not performing.
I would have played Jeff Hendrick, to be fair, because he did have one down Wolves.
Hasn't been seen since then, or maybe very little time under Eddie Howe.
Nah, Eddie Howe hasn't really seen eye to eye with Jeff Hendrick, but at the end of the day, we've only signed 2 players, Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood. We need to sign more players. Chris Wood was just basically he had chances, but he's 6 foot tall. He's 6 foot tall. He couldn't even score a goal.
Well, he's only trained 1 day a week, so I couldn't really fault him at that. Do you think we'll get any players in before Leeds? I think we've got to. We've got to bring more players in. I think we need a centre back, totally. Another striker will do. Midfield as well, would you say?
Midfielder, I would probably take either Van der Beek or Ginny, one of the 2.
Yeah.
Or even Haidara, the Haidara kid that would be linked.
Quoted at a high price. Think we'll get anything at Leeds at this rate?
We've got to. I'm optimistic. The performance we played there. We are going doing the Leeds next week. We've got to fuck Leeds hour. We've got to beat Leeds.
It's going to be hard. Right, come on then. Let's see it. Come on then. What we got this time?
Well, since Newcastle just signed Chris Wood, he's from New Zealand, isn't he? Well, the Geordie hacker, isn't it? Ye know me, and I know me. Ye fat nagger! Ah!
There we are. Sharky, Newcastle 1, Watford 1. That was a game we had to win, and thrown it away again.
With typical Newcastle fashion, isn't it? I mean, Watford, for me, you could argue, second half, in particular, were the better side. And the game as a whole was a shocking watch. I don't think we looked up to it. Chris Woods has hardly had any service, and by the way, he's only been in the door, a few days. He's had lack of training, so that could be one of the reasons why he probably wasn't on form. Watford come with a clear game plan, and that was to try and come away with at least a point and try, if not, try and nick all 3. I say the first half, we had a couple of gilt-edged opportunities which we should have taken, we hadn't done. Sean Longstaff was terrible in that first half. He missed an absolute sitter. St. Maximin was poor as well. Same old, hogging the ball, not making the pass, not cutting in, not putting the ball into Chris Wood, and that's why we brought him in, and we'll still go back to what we were doing previously, and that's why we've been found up.
Absolutely. Going back to Longstaff, said he's got a long-term future. Sorry, Eddie Howe, what was he drinking or smoking at the time to come up with that?
Well, this is it. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll probably get pelleters for this. I would have started Jeff Hendricks to do it.
Same, yeah. We said it as well, and we got laughed at. And he's barely played under Eddie Howe.
I get why Jeff Hendricks had his criticism, because he used to play for Burnley and whatnot, and he's not an attractive signing. We've all criticised him, but when you think you've got Sean Longstaff's not up to it, Joe Willock is not up to it, Shelby for me was average. You've got to try and find a way of trying to make something happen, something give, and Jeff Hendrick could have been that today. I don't know what he's doing wrong not to get a chance on Eddie Howe, but he needs to give the lad a chance, otherwise it's just going to be more waste of money. I just don't think Longstaff's up at the Premier League level. You could argue, is he good enough for the Championship? Probably not. The problem is, if Eddie Howe's telling me or telling the public that he's the future at Newcastle, that's very, very worrying, and he said that before the Watford game. But second half, I mean, first 5 minutes I thought were quite bright. St. Maximin, opened the score and great finish. Problem is, I just don't think he had his best game. I don't think anyone did. And I think the minute we got 1-0 up, and we've done it all season, Watford found a way. Ranieri was like this all the way through the second half. Get forward. Newcastle are vulnerable at the back. The warning signs were there. I think King missed a couple of big chances. And as said, But the minute the ball goes into the box and João Pedro sticks his head on that, and it's a great finish, by the way, past Dubravka. He can't do anything about that. I think Lascelles and the rest of them have got to be held accountable. Go on.
I mean, not to mention our captain gives the ball to our former player, Musa Sissoko, and he's just missed that. What?
It's the miss of the season, if I'm honest. This was before Watford actually equalised. I don't know if he missed on purpose, but that is terrible. And that's why Watford are in trouble. That's why we are in trouble. 1-1, well, what's it done for us? Well, listen, we can spend as much money as we can and as much money as we want. The problem is money will not always keep you in the Premier League, and I think at this moment in time, this squad is championship based. We should have went down last season. Willock kept us up single-handedly, but he's not on form. But we can't just put it down to Willock. It's a team effort. It's a team game, and right now we're not really performing as a side. And think about it. Looking back at the stats, Watford have had 5 shots on target. We've only had 1 at home, and this is a relegation rival. Do you know what I mean? We're dropping more points, and by the way, we've dropped more points this season from winning positions than anyone else. And I do honestly think right now it looks like it's over.
Well, we'll see. Do you think we'll get anyone in before Leeds?
We'll have to. For me, I'd rip out the whole defence, but I know that won't happen. But we need to start thinking about getting some players out. But yes, we need at least a centre back in. We could do with another creative midfielder. Could do with another striker, if I'm honest. And that's no disrespect to Chris Wood, but right now we are doomed. With Norwich winning 2-1 as well. That they're fighting. I don't know where we'll go from here. I really do think we are in a tricky situation, and I think we're kind of lucky in the sense that it's only finished 1-1. Norwich, Watford haven't gone further ahead, but seeing Norwich win hasn't done me any favour, so I really don't know. I think we're in big trouble.
And what makes it worse, it's Watford and Norwich next Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it. And, Burnley have got games in hand as well, which doesn't help. It doesn't matter who they're playing, they've still got to play them. The games are running out, and as I said, we've won 1 game all season. That's not going to keep you in the Premier League. That's the bottom line. It's a simple answer. I think Eddie Howe's under a lot of pressure, if I'm honest. And by the way, I kind of do feel sorry for him in a way, because it's not his side, it's the cards he's been dealt with. But
he's got to get question for his selections, his substitutions. They're a bit like for like at the moment.
That's what I was just about to say. I think his second half substitutions were shocking. It was the same last week against Cambridge, and sometimes he has to be called out. Listen, I think we're in a precarious situation, and I think if we don't sort it out, I think we'll be cut adrift by at least March, April. I think we'll be finished.
Could well be. Brilliant. Thank you.